What's good, everybody? SinDragonLord here, aka your commissioner, your Phoenix Primals, and I am here to commentate a showdown match, actually. This is week 1 still of the Global Pokemon Society Season 11 draft, and yeah, uh, normally we don't do showdown uh, replays, mostly because one, they're not as aesthetically pleasing as, say, the gameplay from the Switch, and just because of how showdown replays work, they are a little bit faster and a little bit harder to commentate over, but I'll do the best that I can. Since I took over, I decided to give coaches the ability to use showdown if both of them would prefer to use it on any given week. Both these coaches agreed to use showdown, so without any further ado, let's just. So we're looking at a Breloom Smeargle lead, starting off with a Mach Punch, bringing it down to Focus Sash, and he got the Endeavor. Oh, and he follows up with an Extreme Speed. Okay, so kind of similar to what I did with Donphan and my Custap Berry this week. A little bit of similar strategy. Follows it up with a Stone Axe to get up to Stealth Rocks, and he follows it up with another Endeavor. This Smeargle is putting in work. He did a lot just in that first couple of turns. Electro takes down the Sandaconda with Terra Blast. In comes the Vikavolt. And we got dual Terrasilizations, Terra Rock and Terra Electric, respectively. And due to the fact that Vikavolt is just so bulky, he's able to take those relatively well and not go down, even though I'm pretty sure that is Specs damage. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the Electrode is Specs. So in comes the Iron Valiant. Goes for a goes for an Aura Sphere, and Azumarill takes that handily. Then a Alomomola comes in. Flip turns out. Torterra becomes fodder. That way Raging Bolt can come in freely and take it out with a Thunderclap. Now we got a Raging Bolt versus King Gambit. King Gambit with a Supreme Overlord ability with 3 Fallen Comrades. It gets up a free Swords Dance. Ooh, do we get a Scald Burn? No. And we get a free we get a substitute off too. That is nuts. But Alomomola has the Rocky Helmet, so that does help. Get ourselves back up to almost full. A little bit more Rocky Helmet chip. Go for a flip turn, which does cause the substitute to fade, and we go right into Iron Valiant, which will quad resist the Sucker Punch, and thus the King Gambit will go down to a Moon Blast. Excellent gameplay here by both coaches so far. We got Gouging Fire coming in next, who takes a nice little chunk from the Moon Blast there. And he gets up a Dragon Dance, followed by a Morning Sun to get a little recovery. The Moonblast is doing a bit more damage than the Morning Sun can possibly recover. So we just go ahead and go for the Heat Crash and take out the Iron Valiant. Earthquake not quite enough to take out the Raging Bolt, so Dragon Pulse will be enough to take it out. And then a Thunderclap here should polish off this game. So game 1 goes to Scotland. On the game 2, we have the same exact leads, except we switch into Torterra. And since we knew about the Focus Sash this time, we go for the Bullet Seed. That way we don't have to worry about any of those other shenanigans that we saw in game 1. Torterra basically just fodder this match, I guess. Raging Bolt gets put to sleep, but due to Sleep Claws, Raging Bolt will be the only thing put to sleep as long as it's asleep. So we go for an Extreme Speed, just to get some chip before the Mach Punch takes out the Smeargle. Now Breloom's the one putting in that work. We gotta switch into Azu as Scotland sets up the Calm Mind. A T-Bolt is not quite enough to take it out, but he goes for the Belly Drum and doesn't have enough health to actually use it. So we switch into Sandaconda just to absorb the Thunderbolt, but a Moonblast will be an easy 2-hit KO on the Sandaconda. So now the Iron Valiant's getting a little out of hand here. Let's see if they can do anything about it. Vikavolt does go for the Terrassilization, takes just over half from the Moonblast, but that's okay because after the Terrassilization, Thunderbolt is enough to take out the Vikavolt. We get a Volt Switch here, which is quad resisted and got a special defense boost from the Calm Mind. I guess fearing the Spore, we went back into Electrode to potentially take a Spore, but it goes for the Bullet Seed instead, switches right back out into Vikavolt. We get a Volt Switch of our own here, going right back out into Raging Bolt. And now we're back up to full HP because of the leftovers. We're just going to set up some Calm Minds to try to go ahead and clean this up with Raging Bolt. Volt Switch again, going right back out into that Breloom. And Raging Bolt goes back to sleep. This Breloom has become quite the nuisance. Ooh, and we got a Rock Tomb to lower the speed. Oh, we get a one-turn wake-up, though, and Breloom goes down to a Dragon Pulse. That is a little annoying. And due to the speed draw, Thunderclap is no longer able to out-prioritize the Aqua Jet, thus it fails. So as long as it keeps using the Aqua Jet, it can't use Thunderclap. Thankfully, they do have the secondary Electric Stab and Thunderbolt, otherwise this Azu would have completely walled that Raging Bolt, forcing a switch. Dragon Pulse is enough to take out the Gouging Fire. In comes the King Gambit. And then due to the fact that, once again, the speed drop, Sucker Punch will out-prioritize Thunderclap. So using Thunderclap here will not be beneficial at all. So unfortunately, the Raging Bolt will go down to the Sucker Punch. In comes a Lomomola, setting up a Wish. We go for the flip turn to try to break the substitute. It does not work. But we do successfully pass the Wish onto Electrode. Sucker Punch will be enough to take it out, but Aftermath will take out the King Gambit as well. Now it's down to Lomomola and Vikavolt. And Scald will do next to nothing, and Thunderbolt will be enough to clean up Game 2. Now we go into a Game 3, where Breloom and Torterra is the lead. I think Scotland at this point just understands that Torterra is not doing anything this match. Goes into a Headlong Rush, does just under half, and then goes down to a Bullet Seed. In comes the Smeargle, going for the Stone Axe to set up the Stealth Rocks. And then we get another Bullet Seed to take out the Smeargle to get Breakthrough Focus Sash. Here's the Iron Valiant. The Iron Valiant will be able to take out the Breloom with a Moonblast. So once again, Breloom doing some good work, taking out, a third of the team before going down. Thunderbolt getting the paralysis, but Azumarill breaks through and gets a play rough off, able to take out the Iron Valiant. Predicting an electric move, I have to assume, goes into Sandaconda, but doubles into the Leaf Storm. Since I'm assuming that this thing is Specs, unfortunately this will give Mid-Valley a free substitute or Sword Stance, depending on what they felt like doing. But yeah, that's a free substitute and a free Sword Stance. The substitute fades. We get another Sword Stance off. Do we get a Scald Burn? No Scald Burn that time. And we get another sub. That'll take 2 Scalds to break once again. And we get up to max attack as well as our boost from the Fallen Allies. Sucker Punch is enough to take it down. And since Raging Bolt no longer has the speed drop from Rock Tomb, Thunderclap will be able to out-prioritize Sucker Punch, thus King Gambit is able to go down. Vikavolt takes a hefty chunk from the rocks once again due to the bug typing, and we just go ahead and set up a Calm Mind here. Bug Buzz, gets the special defense drop. Oof. We get another Calm Mind off. Will Bug Buzz do it? No, just barely hangs in there. Dragon Pulse, not enough. So Raging Bolt will go down to the Vikavolt. Vikavolt Bolt is coming in so clutch in this match. But goes down to the Terra Blast, not even terrestrialized here. But Electro will Terra Rock here, go for the Terra Blast, just barely not able to take out the Gouging Fire. And then once again, since it is Specs, it is not able to switch up moves. I would have probably went for Thunderbolt if it wasn't locked into Terra Blast there, just because of how low the Gouging Fire was in the first place. But that was a fantastic match between two very skilled coaches. I'm so glad I had the opportunity to go ahead and narrate that for you guys. Stay tuned for some more Draft League Pokemon content. Peace out, you guys.